Shalom. Title of this video is My Theory on What the 3 Days of Darkness Was in Egypt. Okay, I'm in the book of Exodus, the 10th chapter, and we are in we'll start at the 22nd verse. Okay. And Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Okay. So it says the same thing in the book of Jasher. I can go there too. All right, so it says that let's see where we at here. Okay, so we're gonna go over one page. Let's see. Here we go. So we're in the book of Jasher. We're on the 40th verse of the 80th chapter. Okay. 80th chapter of Jasher, the 40th verse. And the darkness was very great in Egypt for 3 days, and any person who was standing when the darkness came remained standing in his place, and he that was sitting remained sitting, and he that was lying continued lying in the same state, and he that was walking remained sitting upon the ground in the same spot. And this happened to all the Egyptians until the darkness had passed. So they said that this happened to them for 3 days, right? So I'm gonna go back into Exodus and see what it says there again. So it says that for 3 days they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Okay. So first of all, we know this is it. Okay, so this could be talking about an electrical outage. Okay, but even there was an electrical outage, you would be able to have, let's say there was an EMP and nothing with an electrical current worked. You see this on movies, right? So I'm pretty sure that the Most High would have this type of weapon. Sure. So he was going to open up his armory. During the day of the Lord, he's going to open up his armory. So he has all these special weapons. Okay, let's say this was possible. Okay, so no electrical currents work. So then why wouldn't what about a candle? So let's say there was an eclipse too, and the eclipse darkened the sun. So it was pitch dark, no electricity, and nothing electrical work, and you got no light from the sun outside, and the moon was dark for 3 days. Okay, so then what about a candle? Okay, so let's say some supernatural mist came upon the earth, and you couldn't even light a candle. How would that still make you stuck in your same place for 3 days? I live in an apartment, and my apartment isn't really that big. I mean, it's just like a 1-bedroom apartment, just one person. It's just like a perfect size for one person. And I know where my kitchen is at, and I know where my door is at, and I know where my bedroom is at, and I know where my bathroom is at. In fact, I could probably, like, without even being able to see, I can get on the ground and crawl to my bathroom. Like, this feeling, like not even being able to see it or anything. I mean, I probably wouldn't even have to crawl. I could probably just walk to the bathroom with my eyes closed, right? So even if it was something where it was literally no light, it was pitch dark, why would you be stuck in the same place for 3 days, right? So I was watching this TV show called Flash Forward. I think it came out in like 2009 or something. It's been out for a while, about 10 years at least. And the same thing, that it made me think about this scripture where it was some type of event. It didn't last for 3 days, but it was some type of event where everybody in the whole world, well, not maybe everybody, it might have been like some people who didn't, but the majority of the world just fainted and blacked out for like a certain period of time. I don't know how long it is. It's right here on this movie. Let's see what this is. Okay, so it says the series opens on a seemingly ordinary day, October 6, 2009, which soon becomes extraordinary when at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, as everyone in Los Angeles blacks out. Oh, this is Los Angeles. I thought this was the whole world. Okay, as everyone in Los Angeles blacks out for 2 minutes and 17 seconds, it soon becomes apparent The blackouts, okay, so it's worldwide and were accompanied by a flash forward where each person saw what might be his or her life on April 29th, 2010, roughly 6 months into the future. So they could see, so they had a blackout, but they also experienced like a vision of what the future would be. So I saw this show before. I don't know if I watched the whole thing, but I'm watching it right now. I just kind of want to see what it says. But this just kind of makes me think about if this is what it's talking about in this scripture when it talks about this in Exodus and it talks about this in the book of Jashar. I've heard people, some Gentiles make they made some videos discussing it. A few people you can do like a Google search on, or if you do a search on YouTube, 3 days of gross darkness, you'll see like a lot of people making videos about this. And then it says here in Exodus 10 that it said that Exodus 10:23, it said, they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. So I believe that when it says they had light, it means that they were conscious during this time. But everybody else in Egypt had like went into some type of, like you said, like there was an event for 3 days and everybody just went into some type of state of unconsciousness. I guess you could call it feigning or whatever you is, like something kind of like supernatural or something. That's what I believe this is referring to, right? Now, again, I don't know. Some people might have a disagreement about this, but I don't know what else it could be. Again, if it's just talking about a power outage, or even like I said, even if there was a power outage, the sun was darkened by an eclipse, and you couldn't even light a candle because it was some type of supernatural mist that wouldn't even let you light like a cigarette lighter or a candle, you would still be able to move from your spot. You would just be like, if you had a house, most people probably know what things are in their house. So you could still I'm not saying you would be able to cook, but like you wouldn't be stuck in one place for 3 days. It was saying that somebody was running. What did it say in Jashar? It says somebody was running. We in 80:40 in Jashar, the 80th chapter, the 40th verse. So it says that, and he that was walking remained sitting upon the ground in the same spot. So he said he was walking and this event happened. Now he just sitting on the ground in the same spot for 3 days. That means he just passed out. And this happened through to all the Egyptians until the darkness had passed away. Right? This was one of the last plagues before they smote the firstborn of every household in Egypt. Right? And that was the one that ended up letting us go. Right? So it just kind of make you think. Again, this is just my theory. I don't know this to be a fact, but I was just thinking about that when I was watching this show. I'm like, well, if this was really, like I said, even if it was something supernatural where it was like a power outage, how was it that everybody was stuck in the same spot except for the children of Israel? Remember, they were in Goshen when this happened. So again, I don't know if this is going to happen now while we're still here. It could be something that might happen after we leave. I don't know, because I know Egypt's still going to get judgment after we leave. But how could this happen? And it said the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. So I believe that when it says they had light, meaning that they were still conscious, right? They were still going on, and the whole world just went dark for 3 days, right? Kind of scary. Yeah, you might want to check out that show. It's called Flash Forward. I went to this site called 123 Movies to watch it for free. I'm not telling you to do it. I mean, you could go buy it from Apple, YouTube, Google Play, something of that nature. You might even can find it might even be on abc.com. I don't know. But yeah, it seemed like a pretty interesting show. I haven't even finished the first episode, but I just kind of want to watch it. I remember seeing it before and it was kind of interesting. I think it only came out for one season. But I like watching shows like that I can relate to different things like the Bible or something of that nature. So that's all I want to share. I would appreciate your thoughts in the comment section. But that's all I have. Shalom.